Good evening, everyone. I just want to give about 10 more minutes so that everyone can join who still wants to join. Good evening, everyone. I think to respect everyone's time, I'll start the meeting by saying welcome to everyone that's made time to connect with us today. My name is Aisha Staples. I'm a first-year chiropractic student at DUT, and I'm the secretary of Vibrant Campuses. It's really a pleasure to welcome everyone to tonight's nutrition talk. Tonight's nutrition talk will be on the what and why nutrition is important for daily choices. And then, just as a disclaimer, tonight's webinar will be recorded. And then I would also like to extend a special welcome to the staff members of DUT who have made an effort to support the student-led webinar. And we, as the Vibrant Campus team, would like to thank everyone for joining our talk tonight. Um, I will now hand you over to my colleague, Tepu Skosano, sorry, who is currently studying chemical engineering. Tepu is also a very passionate about people and developing sustainable communities. He's also the lead member of the Rise Above Resilience program. Mr. Scosano will be elaborating on the outcome of tonight's nutrition talk, and he will be introducing who we are and what we stand for as the Vibrant Campuses. So, Tsebu, you can take over.
Thank you very much, Ms. Staples. As everyone has heard, my name is Trebo Skosana. Studied chemical engineering at DUT, and at Vibrant Campuses, I currently lead the Rise Above Resilience program. So before I explain what the Rise Above Resilience program is, I would like to share with everyone what Vibrant Campuses is. So basically, Vibrant Campuses, it was founded in 2018, and the aim of Vibrant Campuses, it's just an initiative that is aimed at responding to food insecurity challenges currently facing the universities. So this include like solving nutritional gaps and needs in the universities through improved access to safe and nutritious food. And basically today's meeting, purpose of today's meeting, we will then, today's meeting will be focusing on supporting the sustainable goal number 3, which is the theme of that goal is to ensure healthy lives and promote well-being for all at all ages. And then, so basically, to elaborate more on what Vibrant Campuses does, as I've said, that we focus on solving nutritional gaps in universities. So we have then taken a stand to create this meeting, which will then help us to elaborate more on what is like good health, what is well-being, and what is food security. As you all know, food security basically has about 4 pillars that we as Vibrant Campuses focuses on. So when we talk about those 4 pillars, we talk about, when you look at food security, we look at the quality of food, whether the food is nutritious, and we also look at whether their food is safe, like safe food, and then the food availability and the food accessibility. So because there are instances where the food will be available, but the quality is not good. So we also look at the food environments at the universities that we have when we talk about its availability and its accessibility. Because we are talking about students. Students may have access to food. We look at the type of food that is accessible to them. How does it benefit them? How is it improving their lifestyle? And so forth. So we do a lot of things inside the DUT and also outside of the DUT. That's where Rise Above Resilience comes in. We do projects outside of communities. So the aim of that was for the project to give back to communities, where we do gardening and we teach communities about improved health and just solving their community problems. So I would like to thank everyone for being part of this meeting. I hope everyone will enjoy and have a great time. So I'll then hand over to Ms. Staples. Ms. Staples.
Thank you, Sibu, for that. Yeah, thanks. So I just want to introduce our very special guest speaker tonight, Revati Lalio. She's a young woman and she has a postgraduate diploma in consumer science, so food nutrition department. Her interests are new product development and childhood nutrition. She's creative and not such a sane chef. She's also a dancer and a very passionate reader. So, Revati, I'll give over to you. And thank you for making time to educate us all. And we hope that we can all take from tonight.
Good evening. Thank you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen and staff members. Today I am giving you hopefully a innovative, educational lecture on understanding nutrition. Without further ado, I would like to begin. So what do you, as a student that is studying or as an individual who is interested in nutrition, what do you understand by nutrition? Quick question. Anyone? Please unmute. You're more than welcome to give us an answer.
Good day.
Hello.
How are you?
Good, and you?
I'm good. My name is Mohau Gabini. So my understanding on nutrition, these are the food that our body need to function normally on daily basis. According to my understanding.
Yeah. Great. Thank you so much for your response. Okay. The content we'll be covering for this presentation will be an introduction, the classes of nutrition, the South African-based dietary guidelines, which is what South Africans follow, something called nutrition waste, being active, and some student-friendly nutrition tips. What is nutrition? As our friend who responded said, it is what we put in our bodies. It is study of nutrients and how our body uses them. We also, part of nutrition is also being active. It's giving off the kilojoules. As South Africans, we classify our calorie or kilojoule intake as kilojoules. Calories is what American term is, and kilojoules is what we use. So the foods that we eat is broken down into energy, and that energy is classified as kilojoules. Okay. Why do we study nutrition? It's very common where people say, but you get professional help, you get professional people that give you advice, and yes, they are great, they are so amazing in doing what they do. But as an individual who wants to know more about how my body works or how I can be a better human, how I can help another person, I first need to understand what I'm putting into my body and how much of energy is coming out. Right. So we study nutrition for improving our quality of life by providing sufficient energy for our body. Energy is kilojoules. In a short term, if you eat a slice of bread, for example, it is not the exact kilojoule, you're going to take away a certain amount of kilojoule from that slice of bread. That slice of bread can then, this energy is now used in your daily activity, whether you are going jogging, whether you are going to campus, whether you are driving, or whether you are socializing with your friends. That is how this food, this nutrient is then changed for daily use. Furthermore, ensuring that we have sufficient energy in our daily lives, nutrients and nutrition also helps us prevent a low immune system, diseases such as malnutrition, and basically a poor quality diet, which is something that we don't want. There is two aspects of nutrition, as I mentioned before. One is nutrients and what you put into your body, or rather what you eat. And then there is being active. And many people, or there is a misconception out there that eating well is what is going to give you a better quality of life, which is not true. You have to see, when you eat, you are eating a certain amount of kilojoules, you are eating a certain amount of energy. You then have to burn this energy off or utilize this energy, otherwise it's getting stored in your body as fat or adipose tissue. So that's the two aspects of nutrition. Now we're going on to types of nutrients. There is two types. There is macronutrients, which is your carbohydrates, your proteins, and your fats and oils. Then there is your micronutrients, which is your vitamins and minerals. This is the classes of nutrients. Before I start, water is not a nutrient, but it is so vital. It is absolutely vital for us in a healthy lifestyle, right? A healthy, nutritious lifestyle. But before we go, let's go to carbohydrates. As you know, our carbohydrates, our pastas, our breads, our rice, our maize meal, this is our building blocks of energy. And I have so many people in my life who has said, oh, we are quitting carbohydrates and we are only eating proteins. I have now omitted bread and rices from my meals and I'm only eating proteins. And I cannot stress this enough. You need carbohydrates. You need the potato. You need the rice. You need the udombolo. You need the roti. You need the pasta. You need it in at least 2 portions. And we'll get to portion size just now, but you need it to eat in 2 portions of your meal. And taking it out completely is going to cause havoc on your body, and we don't want that. Protein is meat and meat alternatives. And our meat and meat alternatives are our fish, our lamb, our beef, our pork, lean meats, and our meat alternatives are like our soya, legumes, lentils. Those are our protein sources. And we also have to have these in at least 2 portions. But here's the thing. Many people who take out carbohydrates in their diet and only have protein have a little issue. And I'm going to explain this. I hope you can catch on, right? So proteins are made up of amino acid. Picture 2 bonds or two little things, right? And one is amino and one is acid. And when we only consume protein as our main source of energy, right? Because remember, energy is carbohydrates, is in kilojoules, and we mainly get it from our carbohydrates because they're so high in kilojoules. Not so high, but high enough, right? Now, back to our amino acids. Picture this, if we only have these two things as the basis of our energy. We are now using the amino as energy, and our acid is getting excreted. And we're all aware that when you have acid on something constantly, it's going to deteriorate, it's going to damage it or harm it, and in a negative way. So imagine that on your kidneys or on your body. So you're not going to get a very positive outcome of it, which is why, as I said before, you cannot completely take out carbohydrates in your diet. Right. So we have next minerals, and very interesting, we can get this from fresh fruit and veg. Your minerals such as iron, your minerals such as calcium, which is readily available in milk and dairy products. And we in South Africa are so blessed and so lucky that if we have to go to a local market or a farmer's market, we are going to get fresh produce there. We're going to get our leafy greens, we are going to get our peppers, our fruit, apples, bananas. We are going to get this there. So we can consume these in moderation with our carbohydrates and proteins. Our vitamins, on the other hand, are also available from our fruit and veg. Our vitamins A, B, C, D's, our sunlight, all these vitamins are available from fruit and veg. Now, here's an interesting thing. If we take a vitamin, our minerals help absorb it. For example, if we have the mineral iron in our body, it can only be absorbed with vitamin C. And I have a person in my life who's anemic, and I suggested to her, you're a scientist, let's do an experiment. So for 1 week, she took a supplement of iron, and she had orange juice with it. And believe it or not, her iron rates increased, which was so great. So you have to take these together. They complement each another. They help with the absorption of another vitamin or a mineral, and it's absolutely important. Yes, we don't like broccoli. Yes, we don't like cauliflower. You don't like it, find a way to incorporate it into your diet. You don't like it fried and plain, right? Let's add it to a white sauce. We're getting it in our milk, we're getting in our veg, and a little bit of carbohydrates and fats. Right. Water. I often see that, and I am guilty of it, right? We often see that, or I rather often see that during exam time, almost every student has Monster in their hand, has Coke in their hand, has a soft beverage in their hand, or some energy boosting drink. And I'm going to tell you that that is not healthy, because it's going to give you energy for a very short period of time, and then it's going to bring your energy down very fast, and it's going to make you tired, it's going to make you exhausted, it's going to give you the feeling of, I am tired, I need to sleep. And in an exam venue or in an exam session, that is not very nice to feel that way. Water constantly throughout the day. I feel every time I go to the kitchen, 2 glasses of water helps me get my 8 glasses in for the day. Another suggestion is there's these beautiful water jugs or water bottles, and they help you with your water content for the day. Water is essential. It is absolutely vital. I cannot stress that enough. Fats and oils. Now this is a little like, you cannot have a lot of this, right? But when I say you cannot have a lot of it, we get it from every other aspect. We get it from avocados. Avocados are rich in fats and oils. And yes, we have good fats and oils, and we have bad fats and oils. We have the good type that is available in your nuts. It's available in your avocados. It's available in your oh my word, the nut chia seeds. Yes, okay, so it's available in your seeds, your nuts, and it is very healthy to have these as a snack throughout the day. Now, when we have these things as a snack throughout the day, it doesn't fill you up, but it keeps your mind active and it keeps you to be alert. Because when you're studying or when you are doing something that requires your concentration and your focus, you're going to need to have your concentration there. So these almonds are great for memory retention. There is so many facts out there for seeds and nuts, so you can look it up. On the other hand, there is bad fats and oils, and those are your saturated fats and oils, but we're not going into such high terminology, okay? Those bad fats and oils you can have in moderation. Have it in moderation. I'm not telling you have it every day. I'm telling you have it once a week or twice a week in minimal, absolute minimal quantity. Those fats and oils are also there to assist you. Remember, your minerals and your vitamins are water soluble or fat soluble. So you need some sort of fat to absorb the vitamin and minerals, which is why sometimes we prepare our fruit and veg, or rather our veg in fat. So remember, anything in excess is not good. But if you have it in moderation, if you are determined, if you are absolutely thorough with how you meal plan and how you meal prep, you'll be excellent. Okay, and while we're on that note, if you have the Vibrant Campuses book that's written by Sabiniso, you can go through it and you can see what I'm saying is also written there. The South African-based dietary guidelines. As South Africans, we no more follow the food pyramid. We rather follow this. And this is the South African-based dietary guidelines. It was created for us to have an all-round of what to consume and how to consume them. And if you look carefully, you will see that carbohydrates form the basis of this. It is at the centermost point of the square. And it is in a moderate circle, and we as South Africans, we are lucky and fortunate to have maize around us, and I am very sure that every one of you at some point has had puttu, mealie meal roti, something made from mealie meal, pap, be it what may. You've had that. So you have to incorporate it into your diet. It's rich in fiber, it is rich in starch, it provides you with energy for you to be able to go throughout your day. The fiber available naturally in protein, in carbohydrates, also prevents constipation, which is another very beneficial fact. Our next one is we're going to come down to milk and dairy products. Our mineral available in milk and dairy products is calcium. And recently I have seen on the market that you're now getting probiotics and prebiotics in your yogurt. And that is incredible because you do not have to purchase a separate supplement. You can just purchase the yogurt. And we all love yogurt. Remember, the calcium is a mineral that builds strong bones and teeth. Meat is animal meat protein. We need protein to build and repair our body. It is what makes the muscle. It is what repairs our ligaments. So we require it in moderate as well for throughout our day. fats and oils. As said before, there is two types. There is the good, there is the bad. When we have fats and oils, it's also because the building blocks or the basis of a fat and oil is a carbohydrate or a sugar. It's a CHO bond, so it's going to give you energy. But remember, just like how with your soft drink or your energy drink, it boosts your body up, it boosts your energy levels up. It's also going to bring your levels down. If you have the good fats, which is your nuts, your oils, your avocados, and those rich in good fat, you're going to have energy distributed throughout your day in even proportions. Okay. Fruit and vegetables and your minerals and vitamins. It protects and regulates body processes. As I mentioned, fruit and veg has minerals and vitamins that help each other absorb into your blood. It's also a very good source of fiber. Most fruit and veg is a good source of fiber. And eaten raw is so nice because you're getting the raw nutrients. You're getting, there's no loss of color, there's no loss of chlorophyll, which is your green vegetables. There's no loss of that. So you're going to have all these natural vitamins, minerals, all these natural building blocks of it in your bloodstream, especially eaten raw. Meat alternatives, which is also a very, very good protein source. And I think we can all relate when we have sampan beans or when we have trotters and beans, when we have our legumes, or our lentils, or our pulses with our meat products. These are there to increase your protein. When you have your protein, or when you consume protein, it is there to assist in building your body. It's not there to provide energy. It is there to increase your see, we every day we do physical activities. There is certain things we do that is going to harm our body. Maybe we get cut or scraped or bruised. Maybe you're a growing kid and you're still growing up. Protein is going to be there to assist you in building those body tissues. Whether it's a ligament, whether it is a torn skin, it's there to build you. Just have protein, guys. Please don't cut it out, and don't cut out carbohydrates. Okay, with that said, I have to mention that there is many other food items or a rise of products, a nutrition dense products in the market. There is kefir out there. There is yogurts, as I mentioned, with prebiotics and probiotics out there. These all have not, because of science being so progressive and us taking our what we should now have in a capsule and putting it into a product, science has it has not made a provision on the table or in the guideline. However, when you are taking those, be sure to know what you are taking. Be sure to understand what you are putting in your body, because many of the time we are going to come across something that sounds nice. A friend is taking it, so I am going to consume it as well. However, it might work for that friend, but it might not work for you. Okay. Water. We need water. If you do not like the water available from the tap, that is perfectly fine. Boil it, cool it, and have it. As I mentioned, keep a jug or keep a water bottle. Water, it really helps you guys. It really helps you, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, my slide is not changing, but my next slide is nutrition waste. And I'm going to pick on this topic because it's just come up. It is so recent. We often talk about food waste. We often talk about uh, food loss and food waste. It's very popular. It is out there, whether it's in production, whether it's in the industry, whether it's at home. Food waste is very, very high there in the terms of research. However, nutrition waste has just come up. Nutrition loss slash nutrition waste has just come up, and scientists are now looking at the term in terms of nutrition being wasted when we waste food. And I'm not sure about everyone, but I know when I was a little kid, my mom would say, "Do not waste your food." And we'd get the shouting and we'd start crying. But at the end of the day, we all consumed our meal and there was no food wasted. However, now, and I'm not saying this in a bad light, it's okay. There is some things like load shedding where we cannot control what we have in our fridge or freezers, and you have to throw out the products that has gone bad. You cannot consume them. However, if it's in our plate, if we have dished it out and we cannot consume that, that is nutrition waste. You're wasting what is in your plate. And as I mentioned before, when you consume something, it's going to give you, it's there to give you energy, it's there to help you repair your body, it's there to supply you with what your body needs. So in this plate that you've now eaten and you've left behind, that portion is called nutrition waste. You are wasting, or that nutrition in there is lost. And the loss of nutrition in different uh, in different varieties, in different aspects, be it meat alternatives, be it cereals, be it fats and oils, it's still very vital because that food in theoretical terms could have been for someone else, right? Or it could have been for another day's meal. And we have to be conscious about nutrition waste because at the end of the day, we all are aiming for being a productive human, for being a productive person. Right. Nutrition waste in a whole, to sum it up, is wasting what is already on your plate. My slide is still not working. Please forgive me. I'm having a little technical issue on my end. There we go. Okay, being active. So in recent times, it has come up about being mentally, physically, emotionally, good. And I cannot stress enough how that nutrition does not only revolve in physical health. It requires emotional stability, or rather emotional well-being. It requires you to be mentally good. And I am grateful that I live in a time where we can discuss this openly. And as students, I know you all know that when it comes to exams, when it comes to tests, when it comes to assignments, it becomes very stressful. It becomes very a pressured environment. And as you go up, the worse it becomes. So when we talk about nutrition, we also talk about our mental health, our emotional health, and our physical health. But with that said, every day, 15 minutes of an elevated heart rate is being active. Be it cardio, be it running, be it walking up and down a staircase, be it dancing, whatever makes you happy. Even if you take a walk down by the beach, that is physical active. That is being active. That is physical activity. When you take a walk down the beach, you are also crossing off emotional well-being. How? There's waves over there. You feel calm. You are feeling peaceful. That is how you feel. That is your emotion. Your mental health. You had a stressful day. I had a project due. I had to get my presentation done. I had an assignment done. I had tests tomorrow. All of this comes down to being you being present in that moment. You are there, you are watching this beautiful ocean, you are taking a walk, you are feeling calm, you have, you're doing the things literally. So that is being active. When you're being active, it's the other side to being healthy, being nutritious. You put in the energy into your body. Remember, we spoke about carbohydrates being energy equals kilojoules. Now we're coming to working this energy off, working what we ate and putting it into physical activity. However, if you eat 2 slices of bread and you are doing 3 hours of gym work or running and jogging, it's not logical. Think of it, right? Think of it. You put in 2 slices of carbohydrates, or say approximately 500 grams of carbohydrates into your body for 3 hours of strenuous work. It has to balance out somewhere, right? It has to balance out somewhere. You cannot, if you're doing the 2 slices of bread, at least do 40 minutes or 45 minutes of a workout. Don't overexert yourself. You are not what the world says you are. You are you, and be you. Finally, we're getting to the student-friendly nutrition tips. And I love this section because I was a student. So I've made some notes of what I went through, and what I've discovered is helps, right? So I'm a coffee drinker and I love coffee. But I have noticed, and I have done my research, that 1 cup of coffee in my system takes about 4 glasses of water to clear out. And I'm saying in coffee you're having caffeine, you're having sugar, you're having creamer or milk. And this beverage now needs 4 additional glasses to basically come out of your system. So here's a tip. Any coffee, sugary beverages, highly caffeinated drinks is a no-no. It requires too much of water to get out of your body. And yes, we love it. We require it during our study sessions, during our exam sessions. But it's going to give you that energy for a short period of time. And at the end of that period of time, you are going to feel extremely exhausted, extremely tired, and unfocused, which is not something you need. Healthy vegetables, healthy fruit, protein, carbohydrates, milk, those are things that's going to sustain you for a longer period of time. I've often heard that many of my nutrition conscious friends or health conscious friends, they do something called a cheat day. However, on that cheat day, they are consuming more of what they would have generally consumed if they didn't have one. Now let me explain. For example, Monday to Friday, you train, you go to campus, you socialize with your friends, but you do not have any carbohydrates. You have taken it out. You're on one of these Banting diets or the keto diet or one of these fancy diets out there. And on Saturday and Sunday, you decide, okay, I'm going to have a cheat day. I'm going to have breads. I'm going to have my whole traditional breads, plus over and above that, I'm going to have my junk food. And ladies and gentlemen, this is not right. This is absolutely not right. You are going to be consuming, and this might, okay, take notice next time. You are going to unconsciously be consuming more than you would have regularly had if you had it Monday to Friday as well. Don't do that. It's not a good idea. You want to be able to be your best self at all points. Next thing is, as a student, I've always found that a snack or a quick break often included a fancy packet of chips, a hot chips from the tuck shop, or something packaged, something not homemade. And I had a friend one day who brought carrot sticks and cucumber sticks for a snack. And in that moment, I was such a proud friend, because that is the excellent idea. It's such a brilliant idea. It is cost effective. It is nutritious. It is not packaged because you're going to do it yourself. And it's absolutely tasty. Okay, you don't like fresh vegetable. Go for fruit. It's lovely. It's there. Guys, it's inexpensive. We're students. I know. I understand. I've been there. You can take the same money you purchased the packet of chips with and go and buy a fruit. Right. Be conscious of our sugar intake. When you're consuming sugar, you're consuming sugar in your beverages, like your teas, your coffees. You're also consuming sugar in other forms, and as I mentioned, in your packaged chips, right? With that said, be conscious of it. I'm not telling you to cut off sugar, because yes, our building blocks of carbohydrates is sugar. I am telling you to be conscious of it. Do not have it in excess. Do not have 4 teaspoons of sugar or tablespoons of sugar in a 250 ml cup of coffee. It is not logical. I'm not telling you to cut it down all in one go. Reduce it half a teaspoon by half a teaspoon. It works. I promise you. Week 1, you're going to have, say, 2.5 teaspoons of sugar. Week 2, you're going to have 2 teaspoons of sugar. Week 3, you're going to have 1.5. Week 4, 1, and so forth. Reduce it over a period of time. Don't go one time and reduce it. That is something that I have seen, and it's not recommended. I do not recommend that. Okay. I have come to my conclusion, and I would like to leave you with something that I have found to work. Too much of something or too little of anything will cause unbalance in your body. When you're consuming your food and your beverages, which is your meat, your carbohydrates, your meat and meat alternatives, consume them in moderation. Consume them so that you know, if I do 1 hour of physical activity, what I have consumed for lunch or supper is going to be sufficient. I am not going to run out of energy. I am not going to feel lethargic. I am not going to feel tired. Now that exam time is coming up, we love snacking, right? So consume your snacks. As I've mentioned, these snacks are going to be your fruit and your vegetables in moderation. You have to still then go and have a proper meal. And I love to say this. We have our next speaker that is going to be on, I think it's Tuesday, or well, one of the days I have signed up for her. She is going to give us a talk. She's on Saturday. She is going to give us a talk, Mandisa, about planning our nutritional eating tips and tools. So she's going to give us that. And if you want more insight on foods and beverages, how to consume them, healthy eating tips, please join us. It's going to really, really be nice. Thank you.
Thank you, Rivati. That was such an insightful session, and I really think that we can take away from it, because I think we're all guilty of trying diets and completely cutting out and not realizing that you still need a bit of every nutrient in the food pyramid, and that you can't just throw one away. And also, definitely one very good reminder that you gave all students is water, because I feel like water, like a cold glass of water, can also wake you up at night when you're studying. So
Yes.
thank you so much for making your time and putting in so much effort in the slides and everything. And then I
Thank
just
you.
want to say, yeah.
Sorry to cut you
Mhm.
off, Ms. Staples. If anyone has any questions, queries, or concerns, you're more than welcome to ask them. I don't mind. If you want, the Vibrant Campuses team also has my email address. You're more than welcome to pop me an email if you have any questions, queries, or concerns that you do not want to address on this platform. I am happy to help wherever.
Yes,
Thank
you so much.
you.
So we thought we'd open just for a few questions. If anyone has
sure.
a question right now, you can just either unmute yourself or raise your hand and then unmute yourself. So we'll just give a few minutes if anyone has questions.
Please don't feel shy.
Jason Kwanzi, your mic is unmuted. Do you maybe want to ask something? Okay, so it seems that we have no questions. So I just want to thank everybody
Hello?
for. Oh, okay. Sorry. Yes, you may speak. Sorry.
Oh, sorry about that. I had technical issues. I just
No
wanted
problem.
to
Go
ask
ahead.
you to clarify something here about
Yes.
sugar. Yes, I want to know about, is it a healthy thing to consume, or we shouldn't consume it at all? We should avoid it at all costs.
Okay, thank you for your question. So, sugar, as in table sugar, the one that we put in our coffees, our teas, sometimes we add it to our jungle oats, that is not healthy. That is the root, or rather, what is going to lead to being diabetic. Okay? I don't know if I'm making sense, but it's not it's very okay, let me explain this quickly. So we have something called the glycemic index, right? Glycemic index is the absorption power, or rather the how a sugar is absorbed in our body. If sugar is absorbed fast in our body, it is unhealthy. Right. With that said, sugar, the one that we have, the brown sugar, the white sugar, that is absorbed in our body extremely fast. When you have your sugar sweetened beverages, when you have your sugar sweetened soft drinks or in energy drinks, they are high in sugar. They are absolutely high in sugar. So to answer your question, those kinds of sugars are unhealthy. Those kinds of sugars is what you need to slowly take out of your diet. Slowly, gradually, over a period of time. Okay, I hope I answered your question. I hope that it was good.
Yes, thank you so much, ma'am.
Great, thank you. Next, you can unmute your mic and speak. I have S. Sahadeo and B. Singh. I think we're going to take S. Sahadeo first.
Good evening, Ravati. I hope you're well. Thank you for a very insightful presentation.
Hi, thank you.
Okay, so my question is with regards to the food-based dietary guidelines. Personally,
Yes.
do you think it should be revised in terms of adding amounts of the food groups so it can be more practical for the South African population to follow?
Hi, thank you for your question. And yes, I personally think it should be revised. Mainly because most of the products, or rather, um, the portion sizing on those circles are not clear enough. And as you mentioned, to put in values, numerical values to those, I think it would be ideal. Thank you for your question. I hope I answered it well.
Yes, thank you so much.
Great. Um, Next, we have Mr. B. Singh.
Hi, yeah. I wanted to ask about whether the temperature of the food that you're consuming affects how or where it's absorbed in your digestive system.
Hi, thank you for your question. Um, it doesn't affect where it is absorbed in your digestive system, but temperature plays a role in the nutrients lost, or rather, the nutritional nutrients in the fruit and veg, for example, right? A simple example is when you cook spinach, it has a loss of color. When you cook beetroot, it has a loss of color. When you cook butternut, carrots, it has a loss of color, and that impacts the loss of nutrient. However, when you consume them into your body, remember your body has heat, right? You're always at uh, room temperature or slash body temperature, and you're going to have your internal body temperature not affecting is now your food consumed is going to come to body temperature. So not necessarily the temperature that you consume your food is how it's going to be digested, but how you prepare your meal is going to impact what nutrients are being available there. I hope I answered your
Thank you so much.
question. Thank you. We have Miss Devrani Naika.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for a very informative session. You've most definitely given us some things to think about. I just want to ask, what is your opinion on intermittent fasting?
Good evening. Thank you for the feedback. Intermittent fasting. Okay, so from personal experiences and people around me, intermittent fasting is a similar thing to a cheat day. You fast from a certain period to a certain period, and after that you're going to consume a meal. And generally when we consume this meal is generally a very large portion, because you're now accommodating for the meals you didn't have. Furthermore, people are taking out certain food groups. They are taking out, they are not putting their carbohydrates in the form of rice, breads, pastas. They are taking these out, and now you are accommodating in this one meal for 3 main meals, which is your breakfast, lunch, supper, and 2 snacks, which is in the middle of those 2. So it is it's like doing a diet, and it's not acceptable. It is putting a strain on your body that your body does not deserve. I hope I answered your question. And if you need any other queries or questions, I'm happy. Yes, unmute and come along, Miss Mbediela. I hope I said that right.
Yes, you did. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I am awesome. I have a question here that I hope that you can answer and help me with. You see,
I will try my best.
in the past, I've heard a lot of debate regarding bread. You've heard people saying white bread is not healthy, but brown bread is healthy. You've heard people saying, this type of bread is healthy, this type of bread is unhealthy. So when I hear from you, if maybe the normal bread that you consume, maybe your BP, your Albany, your brown bread, is it healthy to consume it each and every day? And does it matter if you have it maybe white and brown sometimes, or what exactly can you clarify regarding that?
Okay, thank you for your question. And I like this question mainly because it's very popular and there is a lot of debate around it. To clarify and to come back to our GI, and we said that our glycemic index is slowly absorbed, is when a low glycemic index is good and it's slowly absorbed in the body. Keep that in mind. Now, white bread and brown bread, when you have something in its natural form, it is more healthy. Brown bread has more fiber in it. And when you physically see or visually see your brown bread, you can see the husk or the fiber of the corn or meal or whatever has been prepared to use to prepare that. That is excellent. It is going to be, you're going to consume that and it's going to be taken into your system and be absorbed slowly, which will then give you a slow release of energy into your bloodstream. However, white bread has been processed so much that this bread is it has very low nutritional value. I'm not saying it doesn't have. I'm saying it has lower nutritional value as compared to brown bread. However, if you were in the shop and you had to choose a bread, I strongly suggest brown bread. It's going to be beneficial to you nutritional wise. Remember, you also consume carbohydrates to prevent constipation, and one thing that prevents constipation is fiber in your diet. So brown bread will be an excellent choice. I hope I answered your question, and I hope you make some good choices.
Yes, you did. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Any more questions?
Hi, Miss Laldio. It's Priya Jackson.
Hello.
How are you doing? I think your session was definitely very informative. What I would like to know is, based on what you've given us about the bread, what is your take about canned stuff, and what are things that, we should be looking at on those cans of whatever, because everything comes in a can today, that could be bad for us, so that we know what we're looking for. And then the other question was, if you look at fruits and vegetables, in comparison to frozen fruits and vegetables, are they the same, or, what is the nutritional value of both if we had to ingest them as such?
Okay, thank you for both your questions, and I hope I do justice to this. So for the first aspect, you asked about canned products and what to look at. Here's the thing. When we're canning these products, they have, to a certain extent, they have to be preserved. Otherwise, you are going to get a moldy, um, something that you cannot eat, right? It's going to be poisoned, it's going to have bacteria in it. So, to a certain extent, it has to have those certain properties. However, if you are able to get the fresh um, the fresh version of it. For example, in my household, we love peaches and cream. And this peaches and cream, or this peaches rather, is the canned peaches, which has a extremely high amount of sugar. And sugar is the additive that is added to that for it to become consumable when it comes to me. And I'm also very guilty of having canned products because it's very simple. It is easy. We love our baked beans. We love our peaches and cream, as I mentioned. We loved our spaghetti. However, these are not good for us. When you look at these additives, you are looking for your E values, and you're going to go to your label. And now we are so grateful for South Africa passing a new label law where everything has to be transparent, right? So you can go to your label and you can Google these E numbers. When you Google these E numbers, they are going to give you for another name. For example, E471 is monoglyceride, right? Monoglyceride is a fat. It's a powdered fat, right? And it's added to quite a few things, but they give you an E number. So when you Google it, you Google E41, it's going to give you it's going to tell you it's monoglyceride, it's going to tell you it's a powdered form of fat. So you're going to understand that what you're consuming is actually okay. It's not going to in the long time, okay, maybe it'll have some if you consume a lot of it over a long period of time, it's going to have a side effect. But if you consume just one portion or one small amount of whatever it is, it's going to be okay. E numbers is something to look out for on canned products. Those things are additives. Companies will rather put the E number than put your full name on it. Okay. Your second half of the question was frozen fruit and veg. And can I please be honest and say I'm not very aware of how they preserve these things because yes, okay, frozen fruit and veg has to be frozen to a certain capacity in order for it to be transported. When you're getting fruit and veg that are frozen, it's also technically not from South Africa. You're taking it from another country. So it has to have some form of additive, and generally another form of additive is going to be sugar. And as I mentioned before, sugar is unhealthy. We need to phase it out of our diets over a period of time. And these frozen fruit and veg have a added sugar percentage to it. Again, look at your labels. Your labels are so important when purchasing fruit, vegetables, packaged products. They are going to give you everything you need. If you don't understand what is on your label, Google is a very good friend. We can Google them. You don't understand what Google is doing, you're going to pop Ravati a message and Ravati is going to respond as best as she can. I promise. I hope I answered both your questions and I hope you take something back.
I definitely am. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Any other questions for the session?
It doesn't look like there'll be more questions unless somebody wants to raise their hand. But yes, once again, thank you so much for all the information you've given us and for answering all our questions. I think it's really important as students to attend these seminars because we're still young and like the impact of these foods, as you say, only come at a later stage. So if you're informed of it in an early time, then it's the best
Yes,
time.
definitely.
So I just want to thank everybody for logging in tonight and for making your time for us. And really, it just shows support to student webinars, and we really hope that everyone can grow together, and we hope that you log in to the next 2 sessions with us. The dates are on the poster, so we'll have our next one at, I think it's 11 a.m. on Saturday, and then there's another session on Wednesday next week, the same time as tonight. So thank you for everyone, and then you're welcome to leave. And if you need to contact for other Vibrant campuses or Rivati for any other further questions, you're welcome to do so. I see there was a hand. Was it maybe? Okay, I think it was
I
supposed to
think
be
it was a clap.
Okay, no, that's fine.
Thank you.
So everyone's welcome to leave. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you so much.